It was a comeback for the ages for sure.
Yeah, it's a game that we will always say, I remember where I was, what I was doing after the Broncos somehow found a way to beat the Giants at Mile High yesterday in a true barn burner of a fourth quarter. Our jack of all trades, Jack Linnehan, is here. There wasn't a lot of defense going on in that fourth quarter,
No,
Jack.
not at all.
And so this edition of Jacketology breaks down some of those really wild stats.
Yeah, it's no exaggeration to say that this was a historic comeback by all accounts, and we've got the stats to prove it on what I'm calling Mr. Payton's wild ride. It was the most points by a team that had been shut out in the first three quarters. Of course, 33 points, the Broncos scored that. The previous record was the 1981 Atlanta Falcons, who scored 31. They're the only two teams in NFL history to score that many points after being shut out in the first three quarters. It's also the second most points ever in any fourth quarter in history. The record is 34, set by the 2007 Detroit Lions. Bo Nix made some history of his own. He's the first quarterback ever in any quarter, not just the fourth, any quarter, to throw two touchdowns and run for two touchdowns. And they came back from 18 points down in the final 6 minutes, of course 33 in the whole quarter, but in the final 6, 18 points. They're the second team since 2000 to do that. The other one was the 2003 Indianapolis Colts, led by a little-known quarterback named Peyton Manning. NFL teams had won 1,602 straight games, went up by 18 with 6 minutes to go, and the Broncos just snapped that skid. And my final stat here, they've got two 14-point comebacks in the fourth quarter in the same month. Of course, the Eagles win a few weeks ago. They are the third team to ever do that. But this is actually my personal favorite stat. This is ESPN's win probability chart of the entire game. And at the lowest level, or I guess the highest level there on the chart showing the Giants, with 7 minutes to go, facing a 4th and 3, down 26-8, the Broncos had a 0.2% chance to win that game. Basically, if you ran 1,000 simulations of the rest of the game from that point on, analytics suggest the Broncos would win it just twice. Luckily, one of those timelines was, in fact, reality. I think that's my favorite win probability graphic that I've ever seen, not just for the steep drop-off, but just the back and forth then after, up and down, with all the back and forth of the touchdowns to go from that point on.
It was awesome. It's something we're going to live with for a long time. It's just a great sporting event.
Well, now we'll impress our friends with those stats. Thank you, Jack.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay.